The 2026 Suzuki Ignis was supposed to be the definitive comeback of the urban microcrossover, yet it arrived at a crossroads that left enthusiasts and critics absolutely stunned. You have been told this is the ultimate city car, a blend of rugged SUV aesthetics and hatchback agility that dominates tight streets. But the reality is far more complicated than the marketing brochures lead you to believe. We are looking at a machine that defined a niche for nearly a decade, surviving on its quirky, polarizing charm, only to face a brutal reality check in a market that has moved on to bigger, safer, and far more sophisticated contenders. Today, we are tearing down the curtain on the 2026 Ignis to see if it still has the pulse required to survive in an era dominated by high-riding, tech-heavy compact SUVs, or if it is simply a relic trying to masquerade as the future. And before we dive into the guts of this machine, there is one critical, hidden flaw regarding its long-term market viability and real-world safety performance that most reviewers are terrified to mention, but you absolutely need to hear before you even think about putting down a deposit. I will break down exactly what that is at the very end of this video, and trust me, it completely changes the math on whether this car is a bargain or a liability. Let us start with the personality, because that is the only reason you are even considering an Ignis in the first place. Visually, it is still the same polarizing wedge of personality it has always been. The designers kept that signature tall, boxy stance and those wide-set headlamps. But for 2026, they gave it a sharper, more aggressive front fascia that tries desperately to hide its age. It looks like a car that spent the last year in the gym, sporting more muscular wheel arches and a grittier, geometric grille that shouts for attention in a sea of generic commuters. It is a car that thrives on character, refusing to blend into the wallpaper of your local parking garage. Inside, you get that same functional, minimalist layout, though the infotainment system has finally seen a necessary bump in screen real estate and responsiveness. It is snappy, it is clear, and it finally feels like it belongs in this decade rather than the last one. While you are taking in that modernized cockpit, do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button and drop a like on this video if you appreciate us skipping the fluff to get you the raw, unfiltered truth about these daily drivers. We are constantly digging into the specs that manufacturers hope you overlook, and your support is what keeps this channel in the garage and out of the corporate press room. Now, back to the drive. Under the hood, we are looking at the familiar 1.2-liter dual-jet engine paired with a mild hybrid system. This is the heart of the Ignis, and to be fair, it is a masterclass in efficiency. It is not about raw speed. It is about that instant, zippy throttle response that makes it feel like a go-kart in traffic. When you are carving through morning gridlock, its turning radius is so tight it feels like you are cheating the system. The suspension is firm, bordering on stiff, which gives you that predictable, planted feeling on cornering, though you will definitely feel those nasty potholes more than you would in a softer, more comfort-focused competitor. It is a city car through and through, designed for the urban jungle, and on those narrow, winding city streets. It is still arguably the most fun you can have on four wheels at this price point. But here is where the story gets darker and why we need to talk about that hidden flaw. The automotive landscape has shifted, and safety standards have evolved at a breakneck speed that the Ignis platform, despite its updates, simply cannot match. While its rivals are now coming standard with advanced active safety suites, high-strength chassis reinforcements, and structural designs that prioritize passenger survival in modern, high-speed collisions, the Ignis continues to rely on a lighter, more dated architecture. When you look at the raw data and the latest crash test trajectories, the reality becomes clear. The cost of its signature agility and lightweight design is a trade-off in structural integrity that the modern buyers simply cannot afford to ignore. This car is an absolute blast for the daily commute. But if you prioritize long-term safety and modern protection above all else, you might find that the quirk comes with a price tag that goes far beyond the sticker price. It remains a legend of the urban segment, but in 2026, it is a legend living on borrowed time.